is APN Daily English News Service brought to you by Arakan Press Network. Today, Sunday, 13th of November 2016. I am your host, Sajid Jalal. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. APN English News Service headlines are as follows. Resume aggression on Rohingya in northern Mongdo. 3 gunned down, 1 injured in army firing at Gozibel. 15 injured, 1 arrested, hundreds of houses and mosques trashed in 3 villages. Now, in-depth story. A fresh violence on Rohingya has been resumed by Burmese government forces and set fire on houses of Rohingya at Salifarang and Zamunya village tract of North Mongdo since early morning today. Sources from the villages say the government forces have been surrounding the villages and conducting fires, in which they have set fire on houses of Rohingya, saying that they are hunting for armed attackers in the villages. People reported that dozens of houses have been torched and the villagers have been scattered outside the village and fleeing away owing to ongoing house torching and indiscriminate gunfire of army. Another source says the army, with an ill intention of conducting crackdown against the villagers, started opening fires indiscriminately into the forest surrounding a hill to create a false allegation of existence of attackers at the surrounding. Thus, since early morning today, some groups of government forces entered the hill into the forest and started gunshot arbitrarily, while some other groups of troops entered the Salifarang and Zamunya village tract, who have also been conducting raids in the villages, torching houses and firing haphazardly, causing the residents flee from the villages. By this way, they are making false allegation that there are arms militant in the villages, which is totally a false accusation. They created such plan to carry on crackdowns of arresting people, torching houses and raping the women in the name of hunting for assailant. It is a new plan of government to start a fresh violence in the name of searching armed attackers in Mongdo North, again to eradicate the Rohingya from all the villages of Mongdo North. Their indiscriminate gunshot-like war with militant means they want to get the Rohingya re-targeted to international community and to tarnish the images and views of Rohingya worldwide. The current situation is terrible following the violence carried out by army in the villages, and the innocent residents are fleeing from their villages fearing the attacks of army. It is also reported at 3:20 p.m. today that armies are firing from helicopters flying over the area, making a false accusation of having existence of assailant in the area. Source from the other villages nearby says that they can still see the flames and smoke of blaze on houses from a long distance at the villages since early morning today. At least 3 innocent Rohingya civilians have shot dead by Burmese government forces in the attack carried on the villages since early morning today. Source from the village said Burmese army enclosed Gozibel and Salifarang village tract under the pretext of hunting for invaders in the villages, where they indiscriminately opened gunfires on civilians that left 3 innocent people dead at the spot and 1 received bullet injury. The deceased have been identified as Nur Bashar, 30, son of Abdul Qasim, Lal Futia, 22, and Yasin, 18, son of Doilla of Gozibel. The army reportedly fired heavy guns from helicopter flying above the area at around 3:20 p.m. local time today, but the casualties of the attack by army from helicopter have not been reported yet. The residents fled away from the villages following the fire attack of military on the Rohingya civilians since early morning, in which dozens of houses have been burned down by armies in both village tracts of Mongdo North. It is not known about the fate of the villagers, especially the women, including baby children, who have been scattered and fled from the village following the violence, according to a villager. The dead bodies have been taken by their relatives and trying to bury them in the cemetery of the village, source said. At least 15 innocent civilians wounded, one arrested, hundreds of houses and mosques were torched in the violent attack of Myanmar government forces in innocent Rohingya civilians that conducted since early morning on November 12. According to report, the army tried to commit rape against the women and on 11 November but could not do that due to the resistance of villagers. Following the violence of military and border guard police forces, all the residents fled from the villages and dispersed everywhere outside the villages, who are still under open sky with baby children without food and shelter. They have been under attack of armies and police since morning. It is also reported that a Rohingya, Maulvi Kamal, 48, son of Maulvi Oli Ahmed of Burgosville, has been arrested while hiding inside the Paddy plant, fearing the persecution of army. It is unknown how severely he is being tortured in the custody now, says a villager. Finally, the villagers got united, being unbearable of violence and persecution of military, and stood with stick and with whatever they had against Myanmar soldiers and marched towards living fear of arrest and killing. Seeing the unity of Rohingya resident of the villages, Myanmar soldiers reportedly carried out attack firing from 3 helicopters flying high above the sky randomly that left dozens of villagers wounded at around 3 p.m. source added. Now the women with infants are under open sky passing the night without having food, where the human rights groups. Why is human rights for the persecuted Rohingya? Where is United Nations? Therefore, we would like to urge international community and United Nations, including human rights groups through Arakan situation, to intervene into the violence and stop human rights violations, said the villagers. This is for today from APN English News Service. Again, I'm your host Sahil Zalal. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for watching. Please stay tuned for more updates.
हेलिकॉप्टर मारत दिया रोहिंग्या मुसलमान हेलिकॉप्टर मारत दे